Welcome to Corona Fits. Here we are in beautiful Blackstone, Virginia, the center of the world, but then you too are at the center of the world. So, beautiful day, people, time to do everything you can do at home that you didn't have time to do before. Now is the time. The title of this talk is the Tantra of Corona. Now, Tantra is a Buddhist yoga tradition that came about in the first couple of hundred years. I'm not sure when, but basically it is the technique, or not technique, but the philosophy of, or the tradition of going into the negative, to be released from the negative. In other words, for instance, last night or yesterday, somebody was talking about can't go to sleep. I can't go to sleep. So I said, well, here's what you do. It's 2 o'clock in the morning, you're lying there, you're trying to go to sleep, try. The tension of resisting, the tension of trying to go to sleep keeps you awake. So get up and meditate. So when you meditate, your intention is to stay awake. So you consciously have the intention, you put the intent, I want to stay awake. I'm going to stay awake. I'm awake, I'm aware, I'm just sitting, I'm awake. And then after 20 minutes, go back to bed and you'll fall asleep. Why? Well, you've released the tension of trying to do the positive. So what happens when you do the negative? You release, in other words, you release the tension of the double bind. Now, double bind is when no matter what you do, you can't get out of a fix. You're arm wrestling. You think you're arm wrestling something, some obstacle, and you're wrestling it, but it's really you. So this wrestling with some force or obstacle is really wrestling with yourself. So how do you release it? You can't release it by more wrestling. Because if you're wrestling yourself, the more pressure you put on one hand, the other hand is going to put an equal amount. So if I apply 10 more pounds of pressure here, this hand will come up with 10 more pounds there, positive, negative. It maintains balance. So the more you try to get zero, you see, the more you keep adding positive and negative, wow, panic attack. So what do? Well, one technique is the Tantric method, which is try to do what you don't want to do. This is a good example, if I can find it. Doggone, whenever. This is a bad day cup. See? It's a bent cup. A friend of mine gave me this. I use it as one of my little metaphorical artifacts. So she gave it to a potter to make some for her. And the potter had a great deal of difficulty making a bad cup because her intention was to make perfect cups. So now she had to make a bad cup, and it was very, very difficult. Another example I hope you hang in with me. We're rambling, but I'm going to a point. I do passport pictures, okay? So they come in for a passport picture, and we're habituated or conditioned by our mother. When the camera comes up, smile. Smile. The kids smile. So when the camera comes up, we want to smile. Passport picture, no, don't smile. And some people have a little difficulty with that. So now, what has Corona done to make us choose the negative and be liberated? Well, germaphobes. Now, a germaphobe is a person who's afraid of germs. Okay? So they're kind of like in tension with the world because other people think they're crazy. What are you? You're obsessed. You're crazy. But now, being a germaphobe is good. And actually, you want to have a germaphobe in your house who's cleaning up. If you send somebody out to get to the store, send a germaphobe. They know how to keep away germs. You see? So now the germaphobe is released. I can be who I am. I can be who I am now. You see? Everybody values me. Everybody used to think I was crazy. Now they think I know something. You see? Liberation. So I guess the idea we're playing here is that Corona is shifting, turning us upside down. Now and touching. What's the matter? Don't you like to hug people? You're not a touchy guy. You're not a touchy person. You afraid to touch people? You afraid to hug? Can't you hug a person? Oh, I want to hug. Can't you? Now, hugging. No. So people who don't like to touch and hug people are now affirmed. Now they're liberated. Now they don't have to feel guilty and ashamed for not hugging. Now they can cross their arms and now they're valuable. Now they're safe, you see. Isn't that ironic? So the Tantra, now I'm just using this metaphorically. This, of course, is not the whole science of Tantra, but the idea behind it is that if you are stuck in if you can't get rid of something, try doing it so consciously. Welcome it. This Eckhart Tolle says this. Welcome the upset, welcome the negative as if you chose it. So when the negative comes, when the upset comes, when oh no, why is this happening? This shouldn't be. Why is Corona happening? Choose Corona. Welcome it as if you chose it, you see. Now this doesn't mean you want Corona. It just means that you're not resisting it now. You are opening to it. And that creates a creative response to it instead of a reactive. Oh, it shouldn't be, you see. So this idea of the negative, the wisdom is in the negative. The wisdom is in the shadow. I was writing about that yesterday. The shadow knows. In yoga and in Buddhism, the yoga master tells his disciple, go sit in a crematory and meditate on a corpse. Meditate on your mortality. You're afraid of death? Meditate on it. In other words, go into what you're afraid of. Resist not what you are afraid of. And that's the teaching of Jesus. Resist not evil. Resist not your enemy. Resist not the negative. Resist not Corona. Resist not the upset. Resist not the disaster. Resist not, you see. It doesn't mean you like it. It just means you don't fight it. And when you don't fight it, you have a creative response because your energy is not involved and exhausted in fighting it, which you can't fight because it's what is. You can't fight Corona. It is what it is. You see. So if you're fighting it, resisting it, oh, why me? This shouldn't happen. You're just exhausting yourself and tearing down your immune system. So, Corona, the Tantra of Corona. Go into your opposite. Go into your enemy. Accept it. Choose it. See what happens. It's a liberation. Thanks for dropping in.